Hello everyone, this is class 5 unit on. Well, so far you have taught the students how they could introduce themselves, how they could greet someone when they are meeting, and then they have learned about the objects they have in their classrooms. And then you have teach them how they could introduce themselves, how they can tell their father's name, mother's name, brother's name, sister's name. That means definitely how they could introduce themselves. Also, they have learned how they could introduce something that is not a person, means the object. In this class, we will teach you how you should help your student to take instructions. As a teacher, you must ensure that your student understand your instructions. Now, this would be the basic thing, because if they don't understand what you are asking them to do, they won't be able to do it. Now, this is the most important factor. Yeah, there are some basic instructions. The student will understand if you tell them in your own language, but most probably they will fail to understand if you ask them to do it in English. So here, today we're gonna teach the students how they can take instructions from teachers or from others. The very basic one, turn to the page number 1. The very first instruction, you will teach them to stand up and sit down. Usually the student they remains seated in the classroom. But when you are asking them to stand up, they should be able to stand up. That means they should understand that you are telling them to stand up. Also, when you are asking them to sit down, they are sitting down. So you need to tell them to stand up and to sit down, and they should be able to understand. Now, stand up means stand up, like you should say, tell them, right now I'm standing. You should be standing in the classroom and say, this is what called standing up. So I am standing up. If I say you stand up, you all should be like me, means you stand up. Now, if I say you to sit down, you should sit down. Now, show it to them. If you show them, they will understand it better. Then, do some demo in the classroom. Say, stand up students. The students will stand up. If somebody fails to stand up, help him to stand up. And tell him, if I say stand up, you should stand up. The next thing, sit down. They will sit down altogether. Do this practice for several times. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. They will do it. And the next thing is stand up and come here. What you're gonna do? You should tell them to stand up and then tell them to sit down. Now call only one student. Rahim, stand up. Only Rahim should stand up. They should be able to understand that. And tell them, if I just call out someone else to stand up, only that person, that boy or that girl will stand up. Stand up. Rahim will stand up and ask him to come to you. Come here. I'm saying it again. Rahim, stand up and come here. Stand up, come here. Stand up, come here. Now Rahim will stand up and come to you. Make sure Rahim stands up and come to you when you're asking them to do. Do the same thing for some others boy. Karim, stand up, come here. Means when you're saying come here, that means they should come to you. When you're saying come here, they should come to you. Then, once they have understood it, you should do it for several times. Then you should say, go to your seat. Go to your seat. When you're saying that, they should be able to understand that you are telling them to go to their seat and sit down. Means, go to your seat. Go and sit down. Show them how to do it. When you're saying go to your seat, show them that, well, go to your seat, like this. So then show them this picture. In this picture, this little girl is just standing up and coming up to me. And here in this picture, this little girl is going back to her seat. That's what you need to make sure. Do this practice for several times. Remember, they are kids. They will not remember these things if you do it once or twice. You must do it for a certain amount of time. So try to do it for at least 5 to 10 times. Now go to the next page. You write something on the board and ask them to look at the board. Say it. Look at the board. And explain to the students that when I say you to look, means you should look at something. When I'm saying you to look at the board, that means you should look at the board. If I say you to look at the paper, you should look at the paper. Make sure the student understand. You should explain it in your native language first. Once they understand everything, then say, look at the blackboard, look at the window, look at the door, look at Salma, look at Rahim. They will keep doing it. So whenever they understand that looking up means looking into something, looking at something, whenever they understand that, you should move on. Before that, you do some activity. Okay, look at me means they should look at you. You should say, look at Rahim. They should look at Rahim. Bring 2 or 3 students in front of the classroom and say, look at the door. They all should look at the door. Look at the window. They all should look at the window. Look at the blackboard. They all should look at the blackboard. Look at me. They all should look at you. Look at these students. They all should look at the student. Look at Salma. Point out some other students who are sitting in front of them. And look at Karim. They will look at Karim. This is how they will learn it. Then bring your notebook. You have showed them what a notebook is. Again, show them a notebook. This is your notebook. They all should get a notebook in the class, or they already should have a notebook. Say, when I ask you, and explain them, when I ask you to bring the notebook, bring the notebook, bring the notebook. When I say bring the notebook, they will bring the notebook. Explain it to the students that if you say bring the notebook, they will bring their notebook to you. Then do some demo. Salma, stand up and bring your notebook. Salma will stand up and bring her notebook to you. Go to your seat. Karim, stand up and bring your notebook. Karim will stand up and bring his notebook. Rahim, stand up and bring your notebook. Keep doing this for 5 to 10 times so that they understand what bringing is. When you are saying bring your notebook, means they will understand you are asking them to bring it. Now you should also explain what is bring. Bringing means taking something to someone. So you need to explain it in your native language. Okay, next one, open the door. Well, if you have a door in your classroom, you should ask the student, Rahim, come here. Rahim will come to you and say, look at the door. The door is open. Close the door and they say, open the door. When I say open the door, you will open the door. Say, open the door. So you should teach your student that if I say you to open the door, you will open the door like this. Show them practically. Once they understand it, do it several times with different students. Kareem, come here, open the door. Rahim, come here, open the door. Then once they have understand what is opening the door, show them closing the door. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. You show them, if I say you to close the door, you will close the door like this. Rahim, come here, close the door. Salma, come here, close the door. Siam, come here, close the door. Tanve, come here, close the door. Now, you give them both instructions. Call on the students. Salma, come here. Please open the door. Salma will open the door and then also say, close the door. Salma will close the door. Well, the next instruction is go to the board. Whenever you are telling your students to go to the board, that means they will stand up from this set and they will go to the blackboard in the classroom. You do it first. Show them, when I say go to the board, you will come to the board. Like for example, this is the blackboard here. I just come here and go to the board. Do it for several times. Rahim, go to the board. Rahim will stand up to sit and he will go to the board. Kareem, go to the board. Kareem will go to the board. Salma, go to the board. Salma will go to the board. The next one is draw a flower. Before you start explaining these instructions, you draw a flower on the blackboard. Then tell them, guys or students, when I ask you to draw a flower, you will draw a flower like this on the blackboard. Then again tell them, draw means drawing something. Draw a flower means I am asking you to draw a flower. Now do it together. Salma, go to the board and draw a flower. Kareem, go to the board and draw a flower. Rahim, go to the board and draw a flower. The next instruction is, may I come in? You must ensure that each of your students understand the etiquette. If you have started the class and they want to get into the class, they should ask for your permission. So they should say, may I come in? May I come in? Means they will knock the door. May I come in? If you are entering into the room for the first time and I am inside the class, then you would say, may I come in, teacher? 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 So every single time, if somebody has been coming to the class after you have started the class, they should say it. Now you send out 4 students out of the class and call on by one. Rahim, you come. Rahim will come to the door and say, may I come in, teacher? And you can say, yes, come in, please. Do it with Salma, the same thing. Salma will come to the door and say, may I come in, teacher? And you say, yes, you'll come in. or maybe Rahim. May I come in, teacher? And you'll say, yes. Come in, please. Do this for several times unless or until the student understand what is may I come in. Means they are asking for permission to do something. Even without coming in, they could do something else. For example, may I take a picture with you? May I go out? May I do this? May I leave it? May I go home? Can you help me? May I? So every single time they need permission to do something, the student should say, may I. The student should say, may I. Again, may I come in? May I go out? May I answer the question? May I get a piece of paper? May I talk with you? There are so many other things like this. They could be expressing using may I. Help the student understand about it using your native language. Then you're saying take the chalk. You show them the chalk, and when you say take the chalk, they should take the chalk from the table of the classroom. You put some chalk on the classroom table and you call some students, but before that you show them. When I ask you to take the chalk, you will come here and take the chalk. Or when I ask you to take the pencil, you will take the pencil. When I ask you to take the pen, you will take the pen. When I ask you to take the notebook, you will take the notebook. Show it to them. Like take the pen, you will come and take the pen. Take the pencil, you will come and take the pencil. You come and take the notebook and say take the notebook. Show it to them. Once they understand it, do the demo with the students using the same procedures. Bring 4 students in front of the class and say take the chalk. The student will take the chalk from the table. Take the pencil. The student will take the pencil. Take the pen. The student will take the pen. Take the notebook. The student will take the notebook. 4 students will take 4 different things so that the class understand what is taking. So whenever you are saying take this, the student understand that take this means you are asking them to take the thing with you. The next one is clean the board with duster. You have the duster, you do something, write something on the blackboard, and then you say clean the blackboard with duster. You take the duster, I take the duster and I'm cleaning the blackboard. Do it, show it to the student. Do it different times and then show it to the student. Say, whenever I'm saying you to clean the duster, you will take the duster from the table like this and then you will clean the dust from the blackboard. Explain it in your native language, then explain it in English language. So I will say you clean the blackboard with duster. You will take the duster and clean the blackboard like this. Show it to the students. The next one is raise your hand. Raise your hand. If I say raise your hand, you will raise your hand like this. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Show it to them for several times. Means when I am asking you to raise your hand, you should raise your hand like this. When I'm saying you to raise your hand, you should raise your hands like this. So raise your hands. Raise your hand. Ask them to do it, and then do it with all the class. Class, raise your hand. All the students should raise their hand. Class, raise your hand. All the students should raise their hand. Then read your book. Read your book. When I'm asking you to read, the students should be able to understand that you are telling them to read the book. How you can do that? You just take a book and start reading. Student, when I'm taking a book and reading like this, read the book. You take a book like this and then you read it. Well, this is what reading a book. Show them the picture. Say, read your book. When I ask you to read your book, you should do it like this way. When I ask you to read page number 8, you should open page number 8 and read page number 8. So read your book. What? Read your book. Read your book. Be quiet. When I say you to be quiet, you cannot speak. The students should understand that if you say them to be quiet, they cannot speak in the classroom. Be quiet, class. This is being quiet. So, whenever you're speaking to the student, they will not understand. So, keep doing this. Speak, 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 and suddenly you just stop. This is being quiet. So when I ask you to be quiet, you all should not speak in the classroom. Explain that in your native language first. Then do some practices in the classroom in English. Class, be quiet. None of the students should speak. Again, be quiet. Be quiet. They will do it. Follow your instructions. Next, say that again. 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 Now, if you say that again, means you are repeating something. Repeating means telling it again and again and again. Means I'm Rocky Mahmood, I'm Rocky Mahmood, I'm Rocky Mahmood. This is say that again. Now, in order to create a good demo, you bring one student in front of the class. Ask his name. What is your name? The student will say, I am Kareem. Say that again. The first time the student might not understand it. So you should say, Kareem, when I say that, you say that again, you should say the same thing you said a little bit ago. For example, you just said, I am Kareem. So you should say again, I am Kareem. Now do it for the second time. What is your name? I'm Kareem. Say that again, please. I'm Kareem. Say that again. I'm Kareem. Do it with 4 or 5 students. They will understand it. The next one is open your book. You take a book and then you turn some of the pages. Say, this is open your book. I just open this book. When I say you open your book, you take your book and you open it like this. Open your book. Open your book. Open your book. Close your book. You just close down the book. Close your book. You just close down the book. Open the book. Close the book. Open the book. Close the book. Open the book. Close the book. Show it to the student for some times. And then bring 4 students in front of the classroom. Give them a book in each of their hands and tell them to face the rest of the class. Like me, I'm facing at you. Ask them to open the book. All the 4 students will open their book together. And then ask them to close the book. All the 4 students will close their book together. Then ask the whole class to open their book. Open your book. All the class students will open the book. And ask them to close their book. All the students will close their book. Next, you should give them a specific instructions to open some page number of their book. Show them what is page number. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tell them this 10. Tell them open your page 2. Take the page 2 of the book. Show it to them. If I say page 2 means 1 page, 2 page. This is how you explain it. The next thing is write down. You take a piece of paper first and write down something on it. Then explain it to the class of students. Guys, if I say you to write down, then you will take your pencil and then you will write down. Whatever I say you to write down, you just write that down. For example, if I say you to write down your name, you will write down your name only. What you will write? You will write your name. Write down your name. If I say you write down your name, you write down Robbie. If I say you to write down your name, you write down Salma. Do some practices with this. Bring 4 students in front of the classroom. Give them a piece of paper and a pencil. Then ask them to write their name. Ask them to write their name. Write down your name. Say them. Write down your name. And all the students, they should write down their name on the page. Write down your name. So remember, the student must understand when you're saying write down your name, they should be able to write down their name. Show them the picture you have in your class lecture and tell them, when I ask you to write down, you should write down like this little girl. The next version, repeat after me. You explain it to the class that whatever I say, you must say the same thing when I say repeat after me. For example, if I say A for apple, you all should say A for apple. B for ball, you all should say B for ball. If I say repeat after me, A for apple, you should say A for apple. Do it with some students. Bring Rahim and Karim in front of the class and say, Rahim, repeat after me. Rahim will say A for apple. Rahim will say the same thing, A for apple. Karim say A for apple. Karim will say A for apple. So if I say repeat after me, you all should imitate me. You should explain it to the students in your native language first, then make sure they're understanding it, then do the practices or demos in front of the classroom. Make sure all the students understand it and they practice it. Then look at the picture. Just like you told them to look at the blackboard, this time you take a picture and say them, look at the picture. Take a picture at your hand and tell the students, look at the picture. Means when I say look at, you are looking at a particular thing. They will, now this time you will understand whether they have understood the very first instruction about looking at the blackboard. If they have understood it, they would easily look at your picture. Keep the picture at a corner of your classroom. and then say, look at the picture. If they look at the corner, then you would understood, they have understood that you are asking them to look at the picture. If they don't turn their head towards the corner of the classroom, that means they are not looking at the picture. You should explain it to the students again. So when you say them to look at, they should look at that particular object. Look at the picture, look at me, look at the blackboard, look at the door, look at the window. Remember, you have done this already. Let's read together. When you are saying this to the students, you are telling them to sit together and read together. Take 4 or 5 students, make them sit in a round way, means they should sit one after another, it should be around, Once it's happening, give them a book and say, when we are saying, I'm saying that let's read together, we all should come together and read together. Give them only one book to read. They all will sit together and start reading it. Show it to them. Explain it in your native language. Once they are understanding it, do the instructions. Rahim, Karim, Salma, let's read together. Rahim, Karim, Salma should be able to come to you and sit with you to read together. The next instruction is show me your hands. When you ask the student to show their hand, they should be able to show their hands. So tell them this is your hands, and if I ask you to show me your hands, you will show both of your hands like this. Show them the picture. The picture will explain everything. Still, you should tell them. If I ask you to show me your hands, you would do it like this way. Show me your hands, you will say, show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. This is how you train them. The next one is listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Means you should explain whatever I am saying. You should listen it carefully. Listen it carefully, or means listen to me. Explain it in your native language first, and then they will understand. The next one is go there. You have learned come here means they are coming from there to here. Show them if I ask you to go there, they will go there. Come here, they will come to you. If I say go there, means they will go away from you. Show them go there. Rahim will come to you. Then ask him to go out of the class. Go there. Rahim will go out of the class. So if I say you go there, you should follow the instruction and go to the place I point out. The student should learn it. Do this activity for particular times. The next one is come here. You come here. They should come from the set. Come here. Rahim, come here. Rahim, go there. So Rahim will come out from the set to you, and then you will say him to go there. This is how they will learn come here and go there. Repeat after me. Come here. Come here. Go there. Come here. Go there. 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 Here. Come here. Go there. Come here. Go there. Come here. Go there. Listen to me. Listen to me. Come here. Go there. And the last one, but not the least, is follow me. Follow me. Means when I say you to follow me, means whatever I am doing, if I say D, 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 the student should do D, 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 D. Like this. D, 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 D. Follow me. The student will do the same thing. For example, if I do this, you all will do this. This is called follow me. So if I say you to follow me, if I write A, you all should write A. Explain this to the children and do some activity. This time don't pick one or two students. Rather pick all the students. You sit down, the student will sit down. You stand up, the student will stand up. You go right, the student will go right. You go left, the student will go left. You keep doing this so that they understand. You jump, the student will jump as well. So this is called follow me. Follow me, you jump, the student shall jump. Follow me, you go right, the student will go right. Follow me, you go left, the student goes left. Follow me, you go front, the student come front. Do it for several times. Now, before you go to the practice, you read all the instructions once more. Come here, go there, draw a picture, clean the blackboard. Listen to me. Go to your seat, stand up, sit down. You just repeat all the sentences. Then you start the exercise. This time you show them the picture and tell them, what is this? They should be able to identify. This is stand up, this is sitting down, this is follow me, repeat after me. This means repeat after me. Try them to explain what these are. If they fail to do that, help them write it down. When you are writing it down, after the writing is done, make them read these things aloud. Do the whole thing throughout the class time. Make sure they understand all the instructions before leaving out the classroom of that day.